Oh, there it is, yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Oh no! Shit! Oh no! Get him! Get him!
All right, as we were saying. Well, here we are.
Back at it again, in the field with Pittsburgh Connections.
We are attending Legends of the Seas.
This is the second alpha event now, and
Yes.
wow, what a blast it's been. Aside from the bugs.
That's been a recent development since we got down here. And it is much cooler than the previous one. So
much cooler.
It's a little more survivable.
But this lake, the setting, I love it.
This is going to be the primary site for this game now. We have this beautiful lake. There's a building that overlooks the lake that we'll be using for our docks, with a balcony that overlooks the water. It's very easy to imagine that you are in a shoreside village.
I'm imagining it right now. I love it. Yeah, just being here with the weapons and the props, yeah, you know, things like this, it really feels like it's all coming together. Especially this thing, which I can't get enough of. I love it.
As a rare prize for this game, that we have access to these flintlocks. Kevish was lucky enough to have his number called and gets to use it for the duration of this event.
And I get to feel really cool when I miss people with it.
In the long-term version of the game, this will be something that can be found as loot, which will require special skill to reload, but anyone can fire it or use it. Ammunition will be expensive. They're meant to be a rare solution to problems. Not every person will have one, but some people will, and they're very deadly.
And that's part of the fun of it. So Phil, why don't you give us a little background of this world and how it all works?
Well, the world that we're playing in is called Magnamari. It's not Earth. It is a water planet with lots of small islands and a human population that sometime in the dim distant past was planted here by the ancient gods who are gone. So it's a world where humans have developed into a seafaring civilization with, I think there are 9 different flavors of people groups in the area, all of which are based on some seafaring culture that would be recognizable to people in our world. There's the group called the Buccaneers, who are your traditional Caribbean pirates, who both of us are playing right now. Then you have a group that is based on the old Viking traditions, who are raiders. They wear furs and fight with axes. You have groups that are based on the Barbary pirates, on sort of an Irish tradition, and
The Reavers.
Yes, the Reavers.
I can't wait to see someone come in and play some of them.
And then you have some that are a little more out there. You have a group called the Glaciers, or the Glaciers, who are a group of people who sail around in giant icebergs, is their backstory. We haven't seen anyone want to play one yet, but I can't wait. So there's a lot of options there. They don't really provide any mechanical differences. They're just the pure flavor and backstory for folks. And we're back inside, away from all of those bugs, and that's real appreciated. Back here in the cabin of our pirate ship.
Yes, no bugs in here.
But aside from the bugs, what did you think of the creatures that we faced?
I thought they were all really cool. that Kelpie, when it jumped us, was just the craziest thing I have ever seen. Like, even kind of knowing what it was beforehand, it completely blew my mind seeing someone in a freaking ghillie suit just being like, "Roar." It was crazy.
Yeah, that one was really well done. So we don't get a huge variety of monsters at this event, partly because it was just a small beta event, but partly because one of the decisions early on in the decision-making process for this game was that they weren't going to half-ass any of the costuming, so we only get monsters that there's a good costume out there for. We're not going to get any people in a red tabard saying, "Look at me, I'm a crab monster." It's the Kelpie is a seaweed monster built on a skeleton, so the person who was playing one was wearing a ghillie suit and a skull mask. It is exactly what you see is what you get with this creature. It was beautiful.
So what exactly is, say, a gaunt?
The gaunts are the closest thing the setting has to zombies. They're what happens to a person when the resurrection device, the box hasn't successfully put them back together again. There's not enough left of them to put together, or the box is somehow broken. And they're these emaciated, human-ish creatures that are, all that's left of them is the base instincts and the face of your family member.
They might be one of your friends. They might even be you.
I guess, speaking of a box, we should talk a little bit about what that means.
Yeah, because that is every game has its sort of death mechanics, and the box is sort of this game's death mechanic where you get to come back.
So what it is it's literally a coffin-sized, stone-ish box that some ancient civilization built once, and humans don't really understand or comprehend how it works, but they know that if a person dies, the box will try to rebuild them and resurrect them and send them out again. And usually it works. Sometimes it doesn't. And the mechanisms for how and why that works constitute one of the in-game religions.
Oh.
And then there were frogs.
There were definitely frogs. And it was such a cool little prop that I don't know why it worked so well, it just did.
It was silly and everyone loved it.
Everyone did love it. And that actually helped make that mod even better. Final thoughts.
Calm down, dude.
Okay, so there's game mechanics to this game we haven't even really gone over yet. There's this crew actions thing that I keep hearing about.
Yeah, what it is since this is still like the pre-test, we're playtesting a new set of rules with each of the 3 beta events, and the one that we haven't seen yet is the one that really makes this a pirate setting and not a bunch of people in triangular hats walking around in the woods. There's going to be a between games system wherein you and some of your buddies put together supplies for a ship and go off and have an adventure between games.
Adventure.
And the game runners will have a story for you about what happened when you come back. So you can talk about the other islands that you visited and the other ship that you got into a fight with. And there's game mechanics behind all of this, but it's all going to be stuff that happens when you're out to sea to really sell that there is more to this game than just the one island that you're on. There's going to be other islands that you can visit, and you can engage in trade or warfare with the other ships in the area. So hopefully that'll be cool.
I really hope so. That's the part that sounds the coolest, that I'm looking forward to, but haven't actually delved into. I guess that brings us into the next thing, is delving. Exactly what is that? Is that just looking into caves? Is it...
Well, delving is sort of that same thing on a smaller scale. It's one person can go out and go exploring through the wilderness of the island and see what they run across. And most of the time you're going to find a little bit of material, but some of the more interesting results at the high and low end of the bell curve might have you falling into an ancient ruin and finding a box of treasure, or stumbling across a Corios raiding party that...
not them again.
That'll...
that will kill you more than once. They're awful.
They might.
or we didn't even get into the scarab beetles, because, oh god, I had a bad experience with scarab beetles.
So there's a lot of stuff going on in this game, and hopefully there will be even more once it's all set and ready to fly. Mm-hmm. Because what's there is real cool.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed the mods. I really enjoyed just the props and everything coming together. And I really like the way this is sort of coming together, where if you really like that whole swashbuckling, genre, it's really coming out in the rules and what people are bringing to the game. So you should definitely come check us out.
I guess. Do you
final,
have any final
thoughts?
Final thoughts?
I have expectations of this game. Yes, there are a lot of things that I want to see. I want to see someone with a hook hand, and someone with a peg leg, and someone with a talking parrot on their shoulder, and a cat killing mice on the poop deck, and whatever the poop deck is. I don't know what the poop deck is. And more treasure. I want to see treasure and treasure chests. I want to see what's in these things. I want to see what's in these things. I want to see it. I want to see this game.